How can we make policy changes when it comes to water-related heritage? 7 partners within the European WaVE project are trying to answer this question. The cultural heritage in cities and regions in Europe is often the result of interaction with water. Within the WaVE project, various countries are looking for ways to use this heritage on and around water and to revalue it. During the redevelopment of regional and urban areas, social, economic and environmental factors are also taken into account. The 7 WaVE partners do this by exchanging experience and knowledge and implementing this in new projects. The first phase of the project is over and now it's time to take stock.
I think that an important factor when it comes to kind of long-lasting impact is the change of approaches, of thinking about heritage. It's not so much about specific projects implemented in a particular location, but it's rather change in the thinking about the heritage and awareness of its potential to drive wider ecosystemic changes, and also of methods of working with stakeholders to harness their knowledge, harness their skills, the resources that they can bring to make policy change possible.
First of all, that we have raised awareness of 3 important historical sites located near to water in Aarhus. The first one is the urban coastline of the late 19th century, located next to the ocean of Aarhus. And the second one is the old river stream that flows through the inner city. And the third one is an now partly abandoned former industrial part of the harbour site. It is important to raise the awareness of these sites because I believe that many people are not really aware that they actually constitute heritage. I think many people just look at these sites as ordinary parts of the cityscape, but they are something special, and we want to highlight that special thing about them. By influencing a number of city instruments, first of all, we are trying to make a new system of how to make historical descriptions of heritage sites in Aarhus. And second of all, we are influencing a number of local plans in Aarhus. And thirdly, and hopefully most importantly, we are adding new sites to the Cultural Heritage Report.
Denmark was inspired by the Breda Heritage Map.
Well, Breda is participating because since we've reinstated the old harbour in the historic city centre, we became more and more aware of the importance of water and heritage for the city. So now when we move on to the industrial area, just next to the historic city centre, we want to look what we can do with water and water-related heritage. So we believe by maximizing the water in the city, we can make the city more climate adaptive, and that's an extra benefit.
In this European project we have an action plan, and in this action plan there are 4 goals. And the first one is the water table. And the water table is about discussing together all different kind of people, government, but also heritage organizations and environmental organizations about projects, water-related projects. The second one will be the heritage map. We have a heritage map, and we're going to expand it with thematical layers. And we are also going to expand it with a possibility to show us where projects and initiatives are. And that makes it possible for people to know what heritage is in value with the changes of the city. The most changes are going to be in the former industrial area, and we're going to use that area for placemaking, and that means that we're going to have temporary use by cultural or other functions to expand the attention to the water-related heritage.
Well, what inspired us in Instagram is the way they use culture as means to promote water-related cultural heritage. They have several border-crossing cultural events, which are very nice to do the placemaking, which we also have as an action in our action plan.
Instagram was able to implement policy changes through the pilot actions.
We are implementing this pilot. And the main goal is to collect legends in the region in 15 specific municipalities. And we do this three various ways. One way is we make a collection of heritages, and then we make films, 12 of videos. We also do 5 thematic routes, which will be perfect for using or as attractions for tourists in a region, and implement it in 2021-27 program. So the new Interreg program, we will prepare a project, and we will extend this for the all 82 municipalities in our region.
So the whole philosophy of the project was to enable learning between them, between those 5 locations. And that very much happened. We saw this process of exchange of ideas, of knowledge happen. And that was one factor that led to policy change.
From Alicante, Spain, we learned about blue routes, and we implement this knowledge into our projects.
And the other one is more specific to each of the cases of the locations we worked with. And that was the engagement of stakeholders in a process of co-creation of knowledge, co-decision on the shared values, on the vision for valorization of heritage.
Spain's blue routes proved to be a source of inspiration for several partners within the project. The involvement of various stakeholders in the water-related walking and cycling routes in Spain even expanded the project.
Blue routes have been growing during the processes, involving stakeholders and really using an ecosystemic approach. We will extend them to the whole region, and they will be used as a vector for socioeconomic growth. Water-linked heritage involves a sustainable use of water and land, and recovering the heritage and using it for modern necessities. We can use the territory in a more sustainable way, thus fighting climate change. We have changed the policies at the regional level and also within our own administration, because we have included the idea of water-linked heritage as something to valorize for the future. For us, it has completely broaden our point of view about heritage, and we will work on blue routes with a wider perspective to include stakeholders and to co-create with them future projects.
We were inspired by Alicante blue routes, and we decided to improve the attractiveness of the water-linked heritage through the construction of a digital storytelling for citizens and tourists. Well, we tested a new tool to allow virtual visit to one water-linked heritage site in our territory, even during pandemic times. It will be the first water-linked heritage storytelling from the above. Our managing authority, Region Emilia-Romagna, endorsed the collaborative methodology for the development of project ideas, like Breda did by redevelopment in dialogue.
Okay, I think that one of the main legacies or aspects of the legacy of the project is that the partners involved have, to some degree at least, changed the thinking about water-linked heritage and what it can do for advancing a wider, broader agenda for the city, and broader set of objectives related to sustainability in particular.
Yeah, this project has been especially a learning opportunity for all of us. We have learned about very different things, and we are taking that to our own practice, our local practices, so that's also a very good outcome, a very good value.
As I said, also there's some evidence for the project that the way of thinking about heritage has changed. It's more seen now as a vector of change, as a driver of change, as a factor that federates different agendas and brings different stakeholders together. So I think that this, in a way, is something that will last and outlast the project and inspire further actions once the project ends.
This first phase of the WaVE project is concluded with a manifesto. This manifesto offers practical guidelines and motives for giving water-related heritage a new position in urban or regional redevelopment. For example, the link with climate change is discussed. The importance of storytelling is described and the contribution that this heritage makes to inclusion and social integration. This manifesto also discusses the power of button-up solutions with a wide diversity of stakeholders and the importance of ecosystem deployment in redevelopment. WaVE is supported by the Interreg Europe Environment and Resource Efficiency Cooperation Programme.